Welcome to the Beauty Way. I'm so excited to share this beautiful human with everyone today. This is Rebecca Conway, who is one of my oldest and dearest friends. And it's such a delight for her to join me today. And I'm really excited about how we're going to share, how we're going to co-create together today, and just for you to witness just the conversation between the two of us, which has been extended over at least a quarter of a century more, I think.
Yeah, it is more than that. Yes.
But before we start today, I'm going to hand over to you. I'm going to hand over to Beck to create a beautiful soul grid for our podcast for all the listeners through all space and time who come to this particular episode. So handing over to you.
Oh my goodness. Thank you. First of all, thank you so much for having me. I've been watching your podcast and I think they're just gorgeous. So thank you for being here, doing the work that you're doing and inviting me to be part of it. It's so exciting. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up this gorgeous grid for you and I. And it's so we can just set it up for people that are going to come in. So whether or not they watch it in the next year or the next few days or the next few years, we're actually going to put in a beautiful little time code within this so that they will be brought back to this time and space and where we are right here, um, which will be beautiful. And I was speaking to Kirsty about it before, is that we've got my soul grid is being brought up and alongside with Kirsty's. And it's just very gently touching. Um, it's like a Venn diagram where very much just that part of us is connected, while we're also staying very sovereign. And we're inviting in our soul families and the soul families of everyone through time, space, and all realities, so that when you join us, you join at this exact time and you'll be able to pick up all of the beautiful energies that are being put forward. I've set up a beautiful ceremonial space where there's a gorgeous infinity between Kirsty and I, along with a beautiful viewing. I just love this so much. It's so beautiful. Beautiful viewing platform so you all can be here alongside of us. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's so beautiful to be here with you.
Oh, thank you. And it's such an honor for me to witness you sharing in this way. So I just want to, I feel like I've got this emotion rising in me already. Like when I say how much I love this woman, I truly, truly, deeply love her. Um, it's Beck and I met each other when we were at the Royal Military College and we went through the army together. And and for, it was so funny back then because of the space that I was in. And Beck was very much someone who was simply there to not take herself too seriously and to play the game as much as she needed to play it. And I, in that stage of my life, was quite serious and needed to make sure that things were done. And she was a really beautiful, oh, so funny. Oh, I love it. I love the grid. She was a really beautiful mentor to me at that point in time, a feminine mentor. And this is what I've told so many people throughout my journey, is that the essence that Beck was even back then with all of my stuff, the essence that she was this beautiful feminine essence that I knew that I wanted to have more of. And so our relationship grew as we left the college. And I watched Beck over years. You know, she did follow this path that was a bit unconventional in many ways, whereas I was really entrenched in the game and playing the game. And she she gave me in many ways gave me the courage to go, actually this doesn't serve me anymore, and to move myself from that environment into my new life that is now the beauty way. And so this is why I feel such emotion rise in me when I speak of her, because I have such deep gratitude. And over the years, we've stayed connected. And I feel as though we've both inspired each other in so many ways. And we've been in that space of like, I'm feeling lost, so I can look to you and you can inspire me, and you're feeling lost and you can look to me and I can inspire you. And there is that beautiful reciprocity that moves between us. And it's just been such a joy to witness Beck in the last couple of years really step into her power and really begin to own the beauty of who she is. So it's such a gift to have you here today on my podcast. And I'd love you to share just a little bit about your journey, whatever feels good for you, that's helped you to arrive at this place that is now intentional living.
Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, thank you. It was a big question and it's beautiful. But I actually just also want to thank you for that gorgeous introduction. And it's so true how you have inspired me over the years. And I just have so much gratitude just that we're doing this life together. And don't also forget that I rebirthed into your family. So you're stuck with me now. The short version of it is I've always realized that there's always a part of me that has always thought differently and just been different. And from a very early age, I was always interested in all things mystical, but I didn't really sort of understand that that was not true, or sorry, correction. I never understood that it was weird to most people, because I just thought that that's just how life was. And then for some reason, I went into the military, and I was talking to Kirsty beforehand about how my life, I'd always follow the flow, and I'd always be kind of just drifting and then go, oh, okay, that sounds good, or yes, I'll do this, but without any real intention of, is this what I really want to do? And so I fell into the army, and then I went overseas and I traveled and I had an amazing time. And then I came back and went, there's nothing else for me, so I'm going to go into the army room at Kirsty and did officer training. And I didn't really ever feel that the army was right for me, but it was something that was very easy to fit in and easy for me to do. And I'd always dabble in doing things, but it was always quiet. So I felt like very strongly that I was very strongly in both camps, like a foot in the weird and wonderful, and then a foot very much in the 3D life. And what I realized was there was a few things as I was growing up, as I was growing up with my children as well, and how I was living, that I realized that actually I wasn't, one, really enjoying my life. Two, my kids, I was just really existing to get my kids through school. We chose to do the private school life, which I don't now, which then it seems so important, and it felt like this, they have to do this, and this is just the way. It's very 3D of this is success. We're going to get our kids the best schooling, and we're going to do this. We put ourselves into so much financial debt and barely living, that I was so busy just working full time and driving the kids and, like taking them elsewhere and doing everything. And I remember going, oh my God, this is actually like I am a zombie. I'm not living or conscious in any part of my day. I'm just getting myself to work, driving, trying to beat the I was a crazy person driving. My kids, and it wasn't probably until they hit the high school that I was just like, I'm just getting through life. I'm just going to get my kids through school, and then it's like, who's this buggerlugs next to me? Like, do we even like each other? Do I even know my husband? You know, like, what is going on? And it wasn't until 2019 that I actually had this kind of um, life where I'm like, I just can't do it. And you and I reconnected around that time as well, which was very lucky, or lucky for me, because I knew my life wasn't going in the direction I wanted, and I knew that I was sinking. Um, and I came to you and we did some really powerful work, but I realized that there was a pattern that I was always doing where I did enough so I didn't feel pain, but I didn't do enough to like get in there and scrape it and clear it and, you know, like just do everything so it's completely gone. So that was actually, sorry, 2018. 2019, I had another issue at work and there was all this drama in my life. I was going to leave my husband and I'm like, oh my God, this is just horrendous. My life literally came crashing down, and I created it so that I couldn't come back from it. And I also realized, I was saying to my psychologist at the time, that I'm sitting on a bomb and I'm watching it, like, and I'm watching the wick as it's coming down. And she asked me, what sort of bomb was that? And I went, well, let me tell you, it's one that's going to suck me in, that's going to like whirl me around so there's nothing, and then it's going to like burst me out. So I knew, and I was calling in this creation of complete destruction so that my life couldn't be the same. And I really wanted that because I knew I couldn't keep on living it. But what ended up happening was, while the wick was over, you know, like to my right and I'm focused over there, the bomb went off on my left. And it was the most amazing gift that ever happened, because I literally had to have a look at every part of my life, look at what wasn't working, cleaning up every part. And then, like, it was almost like I was getting parts of me going, hey, are you still necessary? And no, okay, I'll put you over there and we'll like give you a loving funeral. This bit, are you worth? Yep, okay, well, I'm going to clean you up because that wasn't working. I'm now going to like, what's that Japanese thing, how you put the beautiful golds around it? There's a name.
Yeah, there is a name. I can't remember exactly what it's called in this
Yeah,
moment.
me neither,
But
but I was doing that with other aspects of my life. And then I fell into gratitude, because the thing that I basically blamed my whole life on was my relationship, and my relationship with my husband. And what I realized is he was the barometer of my mental health. And so when I was down, I was hating him and my life was horrendous. And then when I was feeling okay, you know, like it's like, yeah, this is great. And I realized, you know, yeah, so I'm talking a lot, but it was one of the things. Yeah, and it's one of those things there, Kirst, that it was through that I went, oh my God, I'm so grateful that I've got my husband, and I'm so grateful that he stuck with me and that we're doing this life together. It was like, I can't imagine anyone else doing life with but him. He's awesome. And then I went, okay, now I left the army, and I've literally spent a few years unlearning a whole lot of stuff and remembering the gift of who I am and who I'm meant to be in this world. And very surely I'm like just sort of ready to come out and go, hey, like I feel like I've had so many deaths and rebirths, but I feel like this is coming up as the final one to go. I'm really just now, I just love who I am. Um, and and I've just come to this really beautiful sweet spot in my life where I feel like I've done lifetimes of clearing, so there's nothing else to clear. It's just now of what do I want to create and how can I bring that into my life? And so this year, actually, it was something where I was like, I'm going to lead an intentional life. And so now I'm working with the cycles and I'm learning to embrace all of that, which I haven't been for many years. Like literally, I would make myself wrong for not liking winter and wanting to hibernate. But now I'm like, okay, cool. But like that's just who I am.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to be doing that,
Yeah.
and life is good.
Hmm.
So yes, I think
There
it
was
got me
so,
to intentional life.
yeah, there were so many little pieces that I think anyone who's listening to this particular podcast will receive in what you just shared, because that aspect of just following the bouncing ball because we're not sure exactly what else to do, is I I think that there is a big wound of that. There has been a big wound of that in our generation. And what you said about you joined the army and then you went overseas and then you came back and went, well, what else is there for me? And the way that we were conditioned, the way that we were raised was, okay, well, we need to decide what we're going to do before we've left school, and then we need to just commit to that to the rest of our lives. And what I heard you say was like, I'm not committing, like I don't want to do that.
I
So
know. Yeah.
so I'm just going to dabble. And there was another piece that I received in that as well, was for me, it was like, okay, I've said I'm going to do this, so I'm going to go all in. And that's my personality, which is why, when I was 27 years old, I didn't need to have the bomb, but I had the breakdown
Yeah.
because I'd lost myself for so long. And then I decided to go and do something else. But there is that personality aspect, especially because you had children, and you then, we need to take those into account. When I had my awakening, I hadn't yet had children. And so there's so many little pieces in there that I'm sure that there's women listening that are going, oh my God, like I resonate with what you said so deeply. And all of the pieces, like even, waking up next to the husband one day and going, oh, well, do I really like you? And so
Yeah.
the question was, was there like a particular moment where you woke up and you went, it's not supposed to be this way? Like, and that was the moment that helped you go, I'm gonna do something different.
My love. So there was a few. I did have a few nudges and a few wake ups. Um, but I got so stuck in I have to, with paying the mortgage and putting kids through school, that I kind of just went, oh, I can't, like, I've got to do that. And you realize when it gets to that stage that there's always going to be something. There's always
Yeah.
going to be this other thing that you need to have, or you need to buy, or you need to save for, or you can't do it because of. There's always going to be um, another thing. And I guess so. There was there was many. One was like knowing, even though I was in the perfect job for me at one point, I would still wake up in this, oh my God, um, full of anxiety of going to work. And basically, I had so much autonomy. I had this amazing work. I was looking after soldiers. I was in this amazing space that I could do whatever I wanted to. Um, but I still wasn't feeling fulfilled. And I was still just doing, oh my goodness, I'm just literally working to get to the weekend. I'm just literally can't wait. And I'd leave the bed in the morning and go, oh, I can't wait to get back. Like, count the day, like the minutes almost until I got back into bed because,
Like that
like,
complete exhaustion with life.
oh my God, it was horrendous, horrendous. And even then, that still wasn't enough. So I think for me, I needed to have something so something there so much for me to go, I need to make changes like that bomb. And what originally was going to happen was my daughter's going to finish school. I was going to leave my husband, and then I was going to travel and work in orphanages and like do my who am I whole search. And thankfully that didn't happen because it was actually COVID, and then I would have been like left a job and left my husband, and then I would have been in COVID. So that was lucky. I had another one. So when I had during that bomb, I then went on to medication, and I had this other, okay, life is good. I'm now clear and I can now go back and do work in this job. And what I realized I was doing was I was taking medication so that I could continue working, so that I could continue to have all the things I thought I needed or thought I wanted in my life. And I'm like, this is just crazy. What am I doing? And then my soul gave me another nudge. And by that stage, I went, I'm now done. And so that was the perfect time for me because I was able to leave the army. And everything just fell into place at that point for me to really sort of stop, to take stock of my life, and give me the freedom to kind of just have a bit of time to pause and go, where is it I want to go and move forward? And I guess that one was when I had the choice to do I need to like to get back on medication just so that I can keep on going? Like that was my other wake up call of I'm just not doing it. Like this is just crazy to me. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what an incredible journey. And the curious part of me when you talked before and you said the bomb a couple of times was when you were focusing on that like being pulled into the ground essentially, like that sort of nuclear explosion. But then there was this one that went off over here. What was the awareness of that? Can you share a little bit about that, like that there?
Yes. So there was so much beauty in that episode. So what actually ended up happening was, so at the same time that my life was crumbling, there was another life of someone who I really loved who was crumbling at the same time. And what ended up happening was that I was unknown or unknown to me. I thought I was actually trying to help someone, but in reality, because I was so low and I'm in this getting sucked right down, like I think I was obviously in that space of my life's going to go. The lesson in that is I wasn't in the space to give anyone any support. I should have kept myself out of it. But I leant in to try and support someone, which actually turned against me and people who I loved. And why I say what is beautiful about that is that it gave me actually an opportunity for me to stop and actually take stock of the energies that I was portraying and that I was obviously in. Because they were saying that basically I was the worst person in the world. And I'm getting myself all confused because like I'm actually was trying to help you. But when I stopped and looked at what it was they were saying, although it wasn't true to them, it was actually true to another part of my life, that I was this nasty, manipulative person. I was like the devil incarnated. Like all these things were coming up. And I was actually able to sit there and instead of run away to somewhere comfortable, I was actually able to sit there and go, you know what? That's not true to you, but I have done it absolutely somewhere else. And I have lived that life doing it to other people, which was really humbling. And it was another layer where I had to stop and go, is this really who I want to be? And unfortunately, or fortunately, it wasn't. And so I had to also have a look at integrity in my life and it was actually such a beautiful lesson to, one, do be the four agreements, you know, like be impeccable with my word. I now don't talk about anyone or say anything unless it's like I say it to them first. Or, you know, like if I'm not going to say it to the person in their to their face, I'm not going to say anything behind their back. It's like I'm just not going there. And there's a whole lot of other beautiful lessons of really just embracing every aspect of me and um, really loving that those shadow parts, and also just doing the um, embracing the ugly of me, which is something that I never wanted to embrace. And I always wanted, you know, like to be love and light and to be beautiful and kind. But the truth is, I actually have quite a sassy little bitch, manipulative bitch part of me who is so fierce and so amazing that, you know, she came out. So when she did come out, I'm like, I actually love you. You've got a place at my
Thank
table. Yeah, join me, but you're the boss of me now. You know, like, I'll let you come out when I'm good and ready. And so it's a beautiful way of just embodying every part of me and loving every part of me. And it was actually part of me being able to become authentic, which ironically, my daughter, a year or so, I think it's when I first reached out to you, um, she was saying that how fake I was as a person, and I've got these two faces, and I'm like, no, I'm not, you know, like, and I was trying to justify that part. And then I went, actually, well, you're true, you know, like she's my truth teller. And I actually had to sit there and go, yeah, all right. And I just wasn't ever willing for other people to see that part of me. But when so when she did, it was just a beautiful homecoming for me.
That's so beautiful and so powerful. And that really is the essence of the beauty way. And because the beauty way isn't like just all love and light and rainbows and unicorns, when we choose to walk this path of the beauty way, we do love our whole selves. And because we recognize that those aspects of ourselves that we've made ugly, they're not ugly at all. They are part of what makes this existence whole. And we begin to love them in a way that they should be loved, and embrace them and bring them in, because that part of you is such a powerful part of you. Like you said, you know, she's the sassy one, she's the fierce one, and she's the one who is like, no, this is not okay with me. And
Absolutely.
everyone, for us to be sovereign, we need to embody that within ourselves, or otherwise we're just we're giving ourselves away all the time. So I love that little piece that you've just shared, because because the shadow is a part of the beauty, embracing the shadow, embracing all the darkness, because yin and yang is like the darkness exists in the light and the light exists in the darkness, and it is all part of the circle life. And so you coming into this place is super powerful, and then moving from that place. But I also love the part about your daughter, you know, like sharing that with you. And, well, mom, you actually, this is how you are, because we think that we're trying to hide it from the world, but it still comes out in some way. And
Absolutely.
those truth tellers, or the people who love us the most, will be honest with us and share that with us.
Absolutely. And I'm so grateful. Like all of those parts, I'm so grateful for every part of it that allowed that to come up and to be seen, and to just be loved and embraced. So it's actually, I sit there and I go, oh my goodness, if I knew this, you know, 20 years ago, I would have bloody had done it a lot sooner, instead of just doing enough just so I can breathe and be comfortable, you know, like, yeah, I'm ready for
Yeah,
all.
you know, I really love that piece that you just said as well, you know, like not doing enough to
Um,
sort of alleviate the pain, but then
yeah,
still realizing still feeling that sense of unfulfillment, because I think that there's a lot of people that would resonate with that as well. And it's only when we actually allow ourselves to go into the depths of the pain that we begin to see that we can clear it. Like, we can clear it. It doesn't
Mm,
have to be pain. It's only pain because we're perceiving it as pain.
yes. Beautiful.
Um, So when you think about like, or when you look at your life now and this intentional living, what is it that you're creating now? What are you creating on this new level of your game that's living the beauty way?
Oh my goodness. So the true to God honest one is I haven't quite figured it out. And that's actually something I'm really looking forward to, because what I've also realized, and I don't know if, oh no, I do know, that I'm sure there'd be like 50 million other people who'd be going, oh my God, can you believe we're nearly in March? It's like nearly a third of the year is already gone, and what's happened? Or we go, and it happens every year, or oh my God, can you believe it's Christmas? Like, where's that time gone? And what I've realized is that for many years, um, and I sort of mentioned it here too, like I would just be dying to get back into bed at night when I get up, or, like I'd just be waiting for the weekend and then I can have some fun, or I'd just be doing whatever, just getting through life. That I actually want to embrace every part of it. And so I'm now just doing it for me, where I'm being really intentional with where my thoughts are and my feelings and my day-to-day living. I've got this beautiful book which I follow. It's like a diary, it's a moon diary. So I follow all the phases of the moon and work out the best time to shave your legs, because apparently there is a really good time to shave your legs under the moon. I can't remember what day it is. I'll put it in the comments when I find it. Um, but not only that, it's for at the start of each month, I'm writing down what I want to achieve, oh, not achieve, but what I'd love to see and bring into my life. And at the end of the month, I journal what is that month has been and what I'm grateful for. So I've got this little book at for the new year, next year, I'll be able to read through my life per week and per month of what I've done and brought in, knowing that it's actually something that I'm intentionally doing. And so there can also be times when I'm like, oh, you know what? I've been wanting to do this for the last month. I haven't done it. Okay. Like I'm now going to do it this month. This is how I'm going to be bringing it in. So that's what I'm doing. And it's a journey as I'm going along and seeing. And I'm just wanting to be along for the ride at the moment and be consciously following it. And knowing that we are all such beautiful creators, it's like, why wouldn't we want to spend some time, like consciously creating and intending how our day-to-day is going to go? And then I'm going to be interested to see what comes up for me. So I think that's part of the journey I'm most looking forward to, is really just sort of seeing what beauty comes out, what my next step is in following this way. So watch the
I
space. I'll
love
tell you
it.
some more in a little while once it comes out. Yeah, because I know that there's something amazing coming. I just don't know what it
Yeah.
is. And so until that comes, I'm just going to be like with me every day so I can really love the journey as I'm going through.
And the beautiful thing about that is, again, people listening, is what you're doing is so accessible, and it's so obviously accessible. So we can all do it. Like, we can all do what you're doing to become the author of our life. And because I realize that I haven't necessarily been the author of my life to this point. And so what I'm doing now is, what you're saying is, I'm writing down each month, this is what I want to achieve. And we get to then go back, as you were speaking, I was just got reflecting, and I get to I get to sit with that at the end of the month and go, okay, well, I haven't done this thing. So is this thing still really important to me? Because if I haven't done it, there's a reason why I haven't done it. And rather than just going along because everyone says that's what I should do, I get to go, well, do I actually want to do this? Like, does this really light my heart up? So I love that so much. And it is about the journey, like you're saying, well, at the moment, I'm just on the journey. Like, I'm just enjoying every moment of the journey. There is no specific destination for me right now, but I know it's amazing.
I do. And it's something, and it's, for me, Kirst, it's one of the things where, because it felt for many years that my life, I wasn't really living or enjoying it. For me, it just feels just so beautiful and so joyous. And it also does give me what you said, and you summed it up perfectly, of, is this really what I want to do? And if I haven't put time into it, what's going on? What are you doing, Rebecca? Like, you can't just keep on saying that you want to do something and not do it. Like, what is it? And yeah, I really, really love that part.
So tell me what inspires you about life. What's inspiring you on the journey right now?
Do you know what? I so love watching people in their light and doing what they like, lights them up, doing what they want to do and be in the light, like in the world. And I think that I really, over the last, have it 5-6 years, I really watched my judgment. And so now I'm able to kind of just see that there's so much space in this beautiful universe for each and every one of us to be exactly who we are and who our souls came here to be. And I love watching people who are living their soul and living their soul expression. So that actually really inspires me. And I love watching people who are just lighting up the world, just being. So that's very inspirational for me and to me.
I love that so much. Yeah, I
I
love it.
know.
And again, that aspect of you, what you're doing is focusing on the inspiration. You're focusing on the inspiration and you're looking for it, and no longer judging those harsh parts of yourself as you move on the journey. Yeah, I love it. So I have another question, and that
Yeah.
is, if you stand in front of your 18-year-old self right now and give her one piece of advice, what would it be?
So I saw this question with another one of your girlfriends, and I'm like, oh my goodness, what would I say? Um, do you know what? I honestly believe now, I'd be my higher self going to my beautiful 18-year-old. And I don't think I think it would just be just giving her an amazing hug, and just the advice would be, don't lose yourself. But I also sit there and I go, and this is why, like, so many questions are hard for me, because I see so many different angles of life, and so I don't really have an easy answer to give, because it's like, I would not be here living like who I am as this expression now if I hadn't lost myself, or I hadn't created such a thing to happen. So I think it would just be, I would just hug her, give her lots of love, and go, you're fucking cool, you're awesome. Don't forget it. Don't dim your light, and don't lose yourself. Like, just continue just being awesome.
Yeah,
She was
be
beautiful.
awesome. That's pretty good advice.
Yeah, she was, every version of us was awesome. But that 18-year-old was really gorgeous and lots of fun.
Yeah.
I'd love to get back to that. more fun.
Yeah, fun. Beautiful. So is there anything else that you want to share about the Beauty Way and what it means to you?
Well, no, but what would you say to your 18-year-old self?
What would I say to my 18-year-old self? I would say do it all and choose what feels good for you in the moment.
Mm. It's a
And
beautiful.
yeah, yeah, no, there is no end. That's it.
I was doing that. Yes. I was waiting. No, I don't. I don't have anything. I just wish that all of you beautiful listeners would just remember just how truly beautiful they are, and that we are all such a gift, and that this life is such a gift. And if we all just remembered just how amazing we are at our soul level, like
How
imagine that.
amazing would
I know, I know, and we would just be seeing each other and high fiving, going, "Hey, look at you shining bright! Look, it would just be that.
when I see you on high
I
five.
It reminded me very quickly. Can I just tell this very quick story? Because I remember telling you and we're laughing. So, my
Yeah.
daughter went through this very dark stage, and I was really quite concerned as a parent. She was just 18. She had joined the army. It didn't work out how she wanted to, and she was feeling quite depressed. And it was COVID and blah blah blah. So I'm walking around this gorgeous park, um, and had my big beautiful angel wings, and I'm walking around the park with my angel wings out, kind of giving waves to everyone as I'm walking past, like seeing the divine in them and the divine in me. And then I did the same, and I brought my daughter in front, and I just gave her a big hug with my angel wings, just doing the, oh my goodness, you're so beautiful. And then the next minute, she just kind of flung herself out, unfurled her angel wings, and was showing me just how beautifully like hers were. So in the quantum, we're both doing the look at your wings, look at my wings, and we're kind of flapping our wings and showing each other how beautiful our wings were, and it was just amazing. And yeah, so I wish that everyone could just have that vision of just seeing everyone in their divine expression of who they truly are. It would just be magical.
It would be so cool. Thank you for sharing.
I know. I know. So with that note, I've got nothing more to say.
Oh, I'm so glad that you said yes to coming on and joining me today. And yeah, it's been an absolute joy as always to be with you. So I know that there are people that will have received some really, really important pieces in this conversation today. And yeah, I cherish you and I'm so grateful for you for sharing your journey. And yeah, all of it, including this next most amazing exciting journey, part of the journey.
I can't wait. I can't wait. It's going to be amazing. So thank you for having me. I just love one, I love you. I love your divine expression, and I love how you're showing us all to be. So it's gorgeous. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And keep shining because you're beautiful.
Thank you. I love you.
I love you.